Now, you've actually mentioned helping women stop dieting and attain freedom with food. Now, how do you actually approach this transformation, and what are some, I guess, some common misconceptions about dieting that you encounter with your clients?
Yeah. So this really gets down to the root, right? And so a lot of what we're trying to do when we are like, I need to go on a health journey, is we're playing whack-a-mole and we're going and just scratching the surface. So we think that it's just a food problem when that's just like the little tip of the iceberg when it comes to all of this. Because, well, it can be both a biological as well as psychological component. And it's always a combination of the two, just maybe to varying degrees. So if you are having a hard day and you know, though, that Ben and Jerry's has 80 grams of sugar or whatever it is, it doesn't matter if you know all the nutrition facts. It doesn't matter if you know what's healthy option. If you aren't working through your proper coping mechanisms, if you keep utilizing fuel as the primary thing that's making you happy or feeling joy into your day, then you are going to be stuck in that trap. So we also, though, really need to reframe what it means to be healthy and get out of the all or nothing thinking, the good or bad, the black or white. It's Monday when we're recording this, right? And oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many Mondays I remember like, this is going to be my week. It's going to bed on Sunday and thinking, like, you're lying down, you're like, okay, what am I going to eat? And like, it's just like, I can't, my head used to be just constantly full of what I'm going to be having this week, what not. And like every night I would go to bed thinking about that. I was just constantly preoccupied. And the thing is like the more obsessed we about it, the harder it becomes to think about anything else. And when we're only thinking about food and that, like we put so much pressure, and then it makes it even harder to actually attain. So within that, when you were saying, how do you get out of that diet mindset? How do you get that food freedom? Also, keep in mind, most of my clients do want to lose weight. So how are they able to get food freedom, but then also accomplish our health goals? And again, as I said before, health does not equal weight loss, but like even in my case scenario, I had gained weight in an unhealthy way. Losing weight and shedding the excess weight was a part of my health journey. When we can get out of labeling all food as good versus bad, that's a big step, because I am not saying all food is equal. That's not true. That's BS. Some food will be health promoting, some won't. But you labeling it all as good versus bad, when you eat that quote bad pizza, what are you to then just feel like you're a bad person as a result of eating it? Mm-hmm. And then if you feel bad, you just want to do more bad behaviors, more self-sabotage. So we get into that all or nothing. Well, I was already bad today, so I already ate the pizza at lunch. So I guess I won't prep the food at home. I already feel bad. I am bad. I already messed up. I'll start tomorrow. And so with my coaching, I really want to empower women that they can make a choice. Every second they have a choice to change their day around. But the thing is that we have associated, especially with our diet culture, that changing the day around means going back to just lettuce and tomatoes, when that's not what we want. And it can be really hard. But for me, the thing that finally clicked for me was, wow, I have tried every diet and every diet isn't working. So I need to clearly do something different. And it was so scary to stop tracking calories. It was so scary to not follow a set diet plan. And I did not, for a couple of weeks, I did not see any like change in my body. But it was actually after only a matter of a couple of weeks, my body started to normalize in a way that my cravings weren't out of control. I wasn't having to obsess and think about food all the time. And I naturally started to crave the food that was genuinely going to make me feel good. And so I could get out of the obsessive behaviors. It just, I'd never given my body enough of a time to be able to have it be in that period of, well, let's explore what your body has to say to you, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that with dieting, and so many of us, especially as women, we look externally to society to tell us if we're good or bad, what success is. And so dieting is another kind of checklist, right? Like you're either good or bad for following these rules. And we've been praised in society for following rules. And so when you say you're not dieting, there's no rules, right? So, oh my gosh, that seems so scary. And that's kind of what I can help people to do. When people just are in general are working in this kind of way, to be able to have some type of container that you feel like you're following something without really following anything so specific or rigid.
Yeah, of course. And then it's like building that relationship with food where it's you're not labeling, oh, this is bad for me, and it really is like I'm like in that intuitive eating that you were talking about. I started noticing that once I say, okay, yeah, I feel like having a cookie. And so I would just grab just the one and not eat the whole box of cookies
Yeah,
as I
but in the
used to.
past, yeah, because in the past you said I couldn't have it, and
Yeah.
then all you want is freaking cookies, and you just thinking about them, thinking about them. You're like, okay, I either can't have them in my house, and then you do. You're like, oh no, no, I can let this happen. I can do it. I'm fine. And you let them in your house, but you keep thinking, even though you've let them in your house, like I shouldn't have them. I shouldn't have them. And then you let you have one, and then you go back to the pantry, like, I'll just have one more. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the day, the whole box is gone. And you're so mad at yourself, and you make it out to be that you're a bad person, that you can't be trusted with food, that you have no willpower. You better make up for it tomorrow with exercise or low calorie eating or whatever it is. And the cycle continues and continues and continues. So we need to stop addressing the problem from what we think are different ways, but it's the same thing. It's just in a different type of diet, and we really get more to the root, whether it's like the psychological reasons why we are continuing to resort to food, as well as I also said, like the biological, like there definitely are things related to what we need in terms of nourishment for our meals so that we can have balanced blood sugar, balanced hormones. We need to really work on all of it together if we want systemic long-term change.